us. We let these bullets to sink home, and we gon' hurt you if you touch us.
Mike D, he was behind, and Mike, his face was nervous, and he was messaging somebody nonstop.
How close were you, Pop's friends like Mike D and the guys from his
Mikey grew up with us. He was, he was family.
What do you think of people speculating and some people making almost direct implications that he might have had something to do with it?
That'd be sad.
In your gut, could you see that being the case?
Having had this happen to me, anything is possible.
Rap star on the rise, killed during a violent home invasion in the Hollywood Hills this morning. The music world is in shock as police search for the shooter. Everybody's talking about it. Police say suspects broke into his home and shot him.
They say Pop Smoke was shot and killed during an early morning break-in at a home in the Hollywood Hills. All police are saying right now is that they got a 911 call just before 5 a.m.
The radio call was called in by someone from back east and stated a friend of theirs' home was being broken into by multiple suspects and that one of them was armed with a handgun. When officers arrived there approximately 6 minutes later, they discovered a victim inside the house had been shot.
Investigators say as many as 6 suspects broke into the home, then shot the rapper.
LAPD has just made several arrests in the shooting death of rapper Pop Smoke. The LAPD says 3 men and 2 teenagers have been arrested.
The way that you were treated on social media, the ways that people came at it and the way some people carried it. Is there anything that you heard or anything that's out there that just you want to make sure people know isn't true? Mike?
I stay off of all that social media stuff. I block out all that. Pop know me, he know who I was to him. So I honestly don't care about anybody else's opinion, What they want to think, I'm not living for nobody else.
I'm not sorry. It should never happen, but I ain't sorry. If I could go back, I'll go back, but I ain't sorry. Die every day. He was rapping about it, all type of shit. So I ain't sorry about it, but I send my condolences to the family, and I wish it never happened, but...
So do you regret going to the Airbnb that night?
I don't regret nothing, but I wish I never had,
But when you say you're not sorry, seems like you're acting like this is just the circle of life, this is how it happens.
No, it's not. I'm not making it a small thing, it's just, I don't know, growing up, my people, my family told me, you ain't sorry for shit. Whatever you did it for a reason.
What do you say to the people who feel like you got off too lightly and they wanted to see you spend forever in jail?
They right, I did get off too lightly.
California be like that now.
But yeah, that's how it is, California.
That's a bold statement to say, so what do you feel like what should have happened to you?
Well, I can't say what I wish happened to me.
Yeah.
But honestly, I wish it on nobody. Jail is not nowhere a human being should be. If you ain't never been and you told on a situation, you need to shut up. That shit is hell. That shit, it ain't nothing to be scared of. But it get like that it get like that, but ain't nothing you should be scared of. But it's not nowhere you want to sit for years, months.
How would you describe what was going on that night? Maybe even just take us through the day if you want.
Well, I'm not finna get into detail about too much, but it was a robbery. Nobody did none of that. That's all false information. It's a lot of pages that's giving out false information, YouTube, the vlog, false. They don't know, y'all don't know nothing y'all talking about. Y'all just assuming and y'all just putting shit together as y'all going around.
But they be putting it together with saying that there was, a bag with an address that was posted online. There was a photo of him and his friend where you could see the address in the background. Is a lot of that not true? It's just people putting shit together after the fact?
Oh, that part I can't speak about because I don't know how the address got. I don't know how I don't know. doubt of that part. So I can't even speak on that. I'm not finna share lies to nobody.
Yo, what's up, people? We is back. Another day on Keep It G News. And today, y'all, we got to revisit a story that I've been talking about maybe about a week now. I'm actually the first person, if you're unfamiliar with the channel and this is your first video to watch, that called out Adam22 for this interview with Pop Smoke Killer. And y'all know I'm never going to say his name because I don't think he deserved clout. I don't think he deserved recognition at all. You understand what I'm saying? And I detailed on several videos why. But since this is a hot topic now because DJ Akademiks decided to hop on, which is crazy, you know, because Adam22 is doing nothing different than what DJ Akademiks did to Chicago. It's more like he's following the same blueprint. You understand what I'm saying? But DJ Akademiks spoke about, he didn't like the fact that Adam22 was interviewing Pop Smoke Killer because Pop Smoke Killer does not deserve recognition at all. Now, this got to Adam22 because if you read the comments on every post, it was outrage. Even though people still watch the video. Now me, I'm not going to watch it. You know, all I seen was the clips. I don't need to see nothing else because I don't think nothing good can come out of this interview. Except one thing, and I'm going to speak to that. The only good thing that came out this interview is Mike D name was cleared, and I told y'all I haven't seen no blogs apologize. Nobody apologized for what they did to Mike D when Pop Smoke died. What they did to Mike D was criminal. They blamed his best friend for setting him up. Let a girl come online or do interviews that barely speak English. Hardly know anything about the streets, I'm sure. But it said that she seen him texting and he looked suspicious and the whole time he ain't have nothing to do with it. Like you just saying in them clips, the boy called it a regular murder. But in this video, like I told y'all, DJ Akademiks spoke on it, so Adam22 felt compelled to give his reasoning as to why he decided to do this interview. And I want y'all to listen to what Adam22 had to say.
So I wanted to respond to some of the feedback about me interviewing Blockstar, Pop Smoke's killer. I didn't do that interview because I don't care. That's what a lot of people seem to think, is that Adam just doesn't give a fuck. That's not the case at all. I did that interview because I thought that it was an important historical record of somebody who was involved in one of the most tragic, insane stories in rap history. I knew Pop Smoke. I was texting him for probably a year. We spoke on camera for a couple minutes for Rolling Loud in 2019, like a few months before he passed. And I had a huge amount of respect for him. I'm not ignorant to what a gigantic impact he had on New York City. And I have nothing but respect for him and definitely did not want to, you know, enrage his friends or family. I actually wanted to do a piece of content that I thought they would be able to benefit from by having this conversation so that people could really like understand what goes through the mind of somebody who's capable of doing something like that. I think if you watch the interview, it's pretty obvious that I wasn't glamorizing it and that I was trying to have, you know, the tough conversation with him that I thought this situation warranted. I also think that like a lot of people seem to think that I'm the first person who's ever interviewed a killer, which is completely not true. You know, all kinds of people come to mind, but let's just go with the obvious example, Terrence Gangster Williams, who I had on, and like everybody else in the podcasting world has had on. He says that he's killed over 40 people. And I haven't seen like even one single person say that I shouldn't be interviewing him. And I think the reason why is pretty obvious. Pop Smoke, famous rapper, beloved. Who did Gangster Williams kill? Like 40 drug dealers / gang members that you and I don't know. So it's kind of hard to like work up that empathy. But when you really look at it, I mean, O.J. Simpson did all these fucking interviews. I remember when Vlad took a lot of heat because he interviewed Keefe D, who is, it's like an extremely analogous situation because Keefy D obviously was involved in one of the most famous murders of a beloved rapper of all time. And I thought that it was pretty impressive that Vlad stood on his principles and did that interview because it was an important story to be told. Just like No Plug, after he killed Bankroll Fresh, he went and did an interview with Vlad, and I thought that was incredibly important. I thought it was very brave of Vlad that he actually went through with it, because that was an important interview in terms of us understanding that it wasn't like he just maliciously went and killed this dude. It was a shootout between two people who didn't get along. One person died. The person who died was the famous rapper, and so everybody got on Vlad's case because he interviewed somebody that took somebody that they liked out of this world. But the truth is that interview corrected the record for a lot of people and let them know how that situation really went down. I also think that Pop Smoke, or the Blockstar interview about Pop Smoke was important for that reason too. 50 Cent made a whole fucking documentary where he basically floated and lended credibility to the idea that Pop Smoke's friend Mike might have been involved in getting him knocked off. I think that interview was extremely important, just answering questions that Pop Smoke fans had. And I think that those same people, they watch that interview and they feel mad and they don't really know what to do with that anger. But the truth is that piece of content, if you're a Pop Smoke fan, is way more informative than anything else that has came out since he died. So to me, it was important to have that conversation. And I also, I knew at that time that he was going to go do the interview with somebody else if I didn't do it. So I felt like I was uniquely capable of having a fair conversation with somebody who may have done something horrible, but ultimately, at the end of the day, as a human being, he came out of a fucked up environment. And I think that interview tells that story without glamorizing killing at all. I hope that nobody came away with that conclusion, because that to me is pretty insane. Anyway, if you were offended by any of the clips you see, obviously probably 1,000 times as many people saw the clips as saw the full interview. I encourage you to go see it, not just because I want to get my numbers up, but because I think it's an important thing to do to understand what exactly we did when we did that interview. And also, I care about one thing more than anything else, and that's feeding the streets, giving the streets what they want. What are the streets exactly? I mean, it's kind of a general term. I'm talking about the people in the hoods. I'm talking about the gang members. I'm talking about the YouTube commenters. There's a lot of overlap. So what they want to see is really what I'm trying to bring to the table. So, I see a lot of people who are kind of from outside the niche that I occupy, who seem very upset about this. But I know that on my side of things, everybody that I know was incredibly excited to see that interview. It was one of the most anticipated interviews of the year, because people find it interesting. It's newsworthy, regardless of if you even were invested in Pop Smoke's story. Anyway, that's why I did it. I think I did a great job. Can't take anything away from myself. Me and Remo, we killed it. And I encourage everybody
It
to
look
check
like
it
to
out.
me, Adam 22 still trying to figure out. He still don't understand why everybody upset. He still don't understand. He don't get it. And one of the weakest arguments that these guys always say is, people die every day. Nobody never says nothing when Joe down the street get murdered. Whenever it's a rapper, that's when everybody got something to say. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. That lets you know a lot of these guys is not in touch with what's going on in any of these streets. Not the streets of Chicago, not the streets of Baltimore, not your street, or none of that. Because there's always outrage when somebody get killed, especially somebody innocent. And that's what Pop Smoke was. But when Adam 22 made that point, he referenced Terrence Williams. Now, if y'all been following my channel, I've been telling people, we need to stop interviewing this guy. This guy does not deserve to have a voice. And it's not because he's a murderer, because people make mistakes, people can change, and, I change. I've been involved in some things in my lifetime that I might not have been proud about, but people move past that, and more times than often, people grow with age. Maturity plays a lot of role. Because a lot of these young boys, including Pop Smoke Killer, is just misguided. Thought the wrong things were slick, and he found himself in a tight situation now. Per the laws in California, he made out, because he was in Maryland, he'd have got 50, 60 years, maybe life, depending on the age. But he spoke about Terrence Gangsta Williams, and I told y'all I don't like Terrence Gangsta Williams. I don't like what he represents because he don't represent anything worth watching. I'm talking about he is not a man of integrity. Terrence Williams is the same person that got on an interview and said that if his son was to get kidnapped, he'd hang up the phone. The interview asked why. And I did a video on this, y'all, if y'all want to check it out. The interviewer asked, why did you say that? Like, they was kind of taken back by it, like they couldn't believe it. Even though, if you know why Terrence Williams is home, you can believe anything that come out of his mouth if it got something to do with having low morale because he did some dirty things to get back on these streets. We talking about a man that had life plus. Gave it all back, and now he's on YouTube. How the fuck did that happen? But that's what he said. If his child was to get kidnapped, he would hang up the phone, y'all. If you think I'm lying, I did a video on it. Check it out. And the reason I don't think he deserved to be interviewed is because he lacks integrity, man. This is a guy that would turn his mother over if he got a chance. And when it come down to the Pop Smoke killing, it's not just about Pop Smoke being dead. No. Pop Smoke was murdered innocently. Even though this was the type of music, you know, he invited this energy, he still was murdered innocently. It wasn't a beef back and forth. It wasn't like Keefy D and Tupac. You know, they had a feud. You know, sometimes feud happened and Pac wind up on the losing end. I have no problem with that. But that gives me a better understanding of what Adam 22 was thinking. And he related that interview to these guys' situation, and it's totally different. Tupac was murdered behind a beef. Terrence Williams, yeah, he was involved in a lot, but more than likely those were beefs. Pop Smoke was gunned down for no reason. No reason at all. Just because he ran across a bunch of young boys that was thirsty and that was ignorant. And they thought they had a come up, y'all. But you see what happened? And this case also is still ongoing. I think 2 of the defendants still haven't played out or they waiting to go get their sentencing. And I didn't like nothing about it, y'all. I don't like Adam 22 reasoning. I don't believe him. He still comes off as arrogant. You know, I'm one of them people that's going to never watch the interview. All I'm going to see is clips. All I'm going to see of this interview is clips because I don't need to see what happened, y'all. I'm sure some family members that is disgusted, some friends that is disgusted because we knew everything that we needed to know. What more did we need to know? The only good thing that came out this interview is Mike D. Like I said, Mike D got exonerated. And if people was wrong for blaming Mike D anyway. But family members didn't need to know the intricate details. It's some family members that even during trials, they don't even come to court because, you know, they get to showing autopsies and they get to talking about the case. And, yo, nobody wants to, I ain't going to say nobody, but some people don't want to hear that. And by Adam 22 interviewing this guy, it opened up old wounds that people was trying to move forward. We talking about Pop Smoke got killed, what, 4 or 5 years ago? At least 4 years ago. But let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, man. Are y'all feeling Adam 22 in his explanation? Was this remorseful? Was this even an honest explanation? Or was this one of them times where he just say, well, shit, I'm going to say anything. You know, I'm big 22. Ain't that what he calls himself? But let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments. Another day, Keep It G News, and I'm out.
Nigga can't do what I do, y'all niggas can't copy me. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep the shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G.